Today, I am at America's best beachside zoo. I'm literally feeding a giraffe bunches of lettuce with the beautiful ocean and beach right in the background. And I'm gonna be touring around seeing this incredible facility from literally the tallest animals in the world to some of the best creepy crawlies you have ever seen and one of the cutest creatures you could ever imagine. So come with me, it's gonna be an absolutely awesome experience. For now, let's just feed this guy some lettuce. So Kelly, who do we have here?
Hi, yeah, we're here with Theo, our male Maasai giraffe.
Oh, look at that tongue, Theo. That was very rude. Santa Barbara's famous for its giraffes,
yes.
Right? I mean, you see them literally as you're driving along Cabrillo Boulevard there. You can look up and look at them. Tell me the deal with Theo here.
Yeah, Theo is 6 years old.
Okay.
He's our breeding bull
it's little.
in our Tower of Giraffe here.
Okay. Now, giraffes are amazing because they have one of the strongest tongues of anybody in the animal kingdom, and it's so dexterous because it's used to navigate around those acacia thorns and pick those little bits of soft leaves off, right?
Yes, absolutely. They have these prehensile tongues.
Just got slimed.
Yes, with a lot of slobber. They are really long and dark in color, and so that's just an excess of melanin in their tongue that prevents them from getting sunburned since they are browsing all day.
Anybody can come here and feed these giraffes.
Absolutely,
Santa Barbara Zoo.
yes.
This is open every day.
Yes.
Whoa, look at that tongue. Look at the length of that tongue. That is something. This is open to the public. You can pay a few bucks, you get a head of lettuce, and you come here and get to interact with these giraffes.
Yeah, absolutely. We welcome everybody to come feed them.
You would eat the whole lettuce leaf, I understand, but I've got to save some of this for some other animals, so you're not going to get it all, and I'm going to move on and see some others. Thanks, Kelly.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with
Hey,
us.
you trying to French kiss me. You get out of here. I'm going to give you that.
Perfect.
I made sure to get here early before the zoo opened so we could do some exclusive activities. And first up, I'm going to meet an animal that the internet has fallen in love with for a super rare experience.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
What's up, man? How are you? Look at
nice
this
to see you.
beauty. Hi.
So this is Raj.
Hi, Raj.
He's our 4-year-old red panda. We haven't had red pandas here in Santa Barbara for maybe 20 years. And,
Okay.
So yeah, it's a big deal for us. And
Hey.
Ruby, our 2-year-old female, is sneaking up on us. And we're hoping that these are a
Hi,
breeding pair.
Ruby. Now, they're relatively solitary animals in the wild, right?
They're very solitary in the wild.
Hi, Ruby.
Yes,
Oh, she seems a little more shy, huh?
she is. Well, actually, interestingly, they're being so good, they never do this.
Really?
They never sit
We're
side
getting
by
really
side.
lucky?
Yep.
So my point of asking about them being solitary is they don't fight when they're kept together like this?
We may see a fight if they stay here,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Because that's natural, right?
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
I think in the wild, they will tolerate other red pandas.
Yeah.
Like they won't have a territory like a leopard will.
Right.
And saying, this is my space, get out.
Here's something I didn't know, Joe. They have pretty serious claws on them.
They have very sharp
Look at
claws.
these. Get a look at these guys right here. You think of red panda as being these adorable, soft little animals, but those are some serious claws on these guys.
Red pandas are their own biological family.
Right.
Their closest relatives are things like skunks, raccoons, weasels, but they're their own thing, and they're technically part of the carnivora order.
Right.
So, as we said, little carnivore claws, carnivore teeth, carnivore digestive system.
And yet they choose to
They-
primarily eat fruit and vegetation. Yeah,
They eat a lot. They poop a lot for their size.
they do.
It's staggering how much poop comes out
And
of
that's
them.
intentional because they're ecological engineers of their system, right? They're big seed dispersal engineers in the places they live, right? Yeah.
You know, these two are being so well behaved. Let's see how they do in person.
Go
without
in
the
with
mesh.
them?
Let's try it.
Oh, yeah. Let's give it a go. We're coming around. We'll be right there. We'll be right there, Sharp Claws. Oh, hey, buddy. Look at
Hi,
you.
Raj.
Hi. What's up, pal? Look at you. Oh, my goodness. Nose in the camera. Oh, my goodness. You are so cute. Here he is. He's waiting for us right here. Hi, bud. I want to pet you. It's like everything
know.
in my instinct is to pet this soft, fluffy red panda. I know that's not the thing to do. I literally have a red panda over my head right now. How unbelievably, yep, there he goes. Said enough of that. Oh, no, he's even higher now. Look, now he's way up there. Hey, buddy. I still got really lucky there, Joe, and got to be really close to a red panda. That was amazing. So cool to be this close to a red panda. That's the closest I've ever been, and boy, he is soft and cute. So we're gonna move on, go check out some other stuff, but that was awesome. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Next, I'm told to head over to the penguin enclosure for an amazing experience just before the gates open to the zoo. But on my way there, I spot another incredibly rare animal, and I have to check it out.
Wow, look at this beauty right here. There's a snow leopard hanging out. Now you might think, what is a snow leopard? A creature from, the high mountains and cold climate doing in Santa Barbara. But amazingly, these animals are highly, highly adaptable. And because Santa Barbara is such a Mediterranean climate where it's very temperate all year long, they do very well. Basically, they do well because we're not in Texas in the dead of the heat in the summer. A hot summer's day here is 80 degrees. So cool to see a beautiful snow leopard, a creature that people spend months in the wild just trying to get a single shot of. And here at the Santa Barbara Zoo, I know they've had this one for quite a while. And it's so cool to see him out because I've visited here a dozen or so times, and this is probably the best look I've ever had at a snow leopard. Look how beautiful that cat is. Wow.
I've been told that Santa Barbara Zoo does something with their penguins that I've never seen before, so I'm headed over there right now.
All right, here we go. Look at our little friends here.
These are our Humboldt penguins here, and they love to go on walks. So we kind of just give them the option to come out. We open the gate, and whoever decides to come out, comes out.
I've been to a lot of zoos and wildlife facilities around the world. I don't think I've ever been somewhere where the penguins leave the enclosure and go for a walk.
Monty, who is one of our star penguins, he is kind of what began this about 11 years ago. He hatched, and we did some ambassador work with him. So he was very used to coming out, and we kind of just started bringing the other penguins along to see if they were also interested. And as you can see, we have a bunch of young ones that just kind of follow Monty's lead. So Monty's the one directly in front of you.
He's kind of behind the rest of them, though.
He was. I think they have learned how to do this, and so they're taking the lead on it now.
So Humboldt penguins are a South American species.
Yes.
And they come from, Chile, Argentina, Peru, that area, right? Now, this is really interesting, and as you pointed out, they're a relatively warm water penguin, and we're in Santa Barbara, Southern California, relatively warm. But where else in the world can you have a group of penguins with a bunch of palm trees in the background? I mean, that's what makes Santa Barbara such a special little beach zoo, right? Is these guys, the giraffes, view of the beach. I mean, it's an amazing thing. This must be really good for them too, right? Get a little exercise, waddle around.
So we're gonna take them back to their habitat in a different way. We're gonna see if they wanna jump right into the water for you.
Ooh, this will be fun.
All right, Forrest, well, we are done taking them on a walk, so we're gonna see if they wanna go for a swim now to get back into their habitat.
All right, you ready to go home? I'll open the gate, is that all right?
Yeah, that's great.
All right, come on, you guys. Who's ready to go swim? Come on. Who's ready to go for a swim? Go on. I'll stay out the way. I'm fine. You're fine. Go on. Go for a swim. Whoa, Bubbles. This one's going, woohoo! All right. And there we go. Penguins back in their enclosures. Super cool, super fun. On to see the next very cool thing.
You'll find penguins in practically every zoo on the planet, but the next animal I'm about to meet can only be found in 3 zoos on Earth.
This is awesome because right here is a California Channel Islands fox. Now these guys are so cool because they're endemic to just a couple tiny little islands off the coast of California known as the California Channel Islands. And out there, I wouldn't call them a menace, but they've actually had a really tough plight, especially when there were golden eagles out there and things like that. But now they've started to bounce back, so much so that they'll cruise around campsites and raid food bins and everything else. But how cool is this beautiful, soft, fluffy little fox, literally the apex predator of the California Channel Islands. How many zoos have these, Ellie? It can't be that many.
Not very many. To my knowledge, I know that the San Diego Zoo does and the Living Desert Zoo in Palm Springs. So only California zoos would have them, and those that are part of the recovery program.
So literally probably 3 captive populations in the world of this beautiful little guy. And look how adorable. He's so gentle,
He is very gentle. He's a very nice boy. He's very interested in coming up to keepers and eating from us, but he also knows that we won't ever try to grab him. And that's kind of what allows him to come over and be gentle with us.
I honestly, of all the animals that you guys have here, Ellie, getting to see a native California Channel Islands fox, something that's so unique and so rare and that is literally so close to here. This is by far the closest zoo to the Channel Islands in the world.
We sure are.
I think this might be my favorite animal of the whole zoo.
I'm
really
sure Lewis appreciates that.
You're so cute. Ellie, one of the things that I find so interesting about them is these guys, they were the dominant predator of the California Channel Islands, and then people came in, they brought rodents, they brought sheep, they brought cattle, all kinds of things, and with that came over predatory eagles, right? When the pigs came, the pigs started destroying the habitat. Then golden eagles moved in from the mainland, and as soon as people thought, let's fix the Channel Islands, let's restore them by removing the pigs, but once the pigs were gone, the golden eagles got hungry and they turned their sights on the next biggest land predator.
Sure did, yeah.
And so these guys really had it tough for a while. But now that the California Channel Islands have been so well restored, they're bouncing back like crazy.
Yeah, they are doing really well, and a lot of that is actually with the addition of bald eagles being back at the islands, because golden eagles do not want to mess with those bald eagles.
That's right, and they're keeping them out. These guys would be extinct if it wasn't for habitat restoration and species restoration at the islands.
Because of where the Santa Barbara Zoo is located, it makes it one of the most uniquely positioned zoos I've ever been to. And that's really highlighted by the next enclosure I'm visiting.
So behind me are two beautiful white-handed gibbons. Now, they're an animal that don't really like water. So as you can see, they have a whole island with big trees to play on and this moat around them. Now, what's interesting about white-handed gibbons is they're sexually dimorphic. The male is black and the female is white. So they have different colorations based on their gender, which is actually really, really interesting because you don't see that in a whole lot of primate species. In fact, you don't see that in a ton of species in general, but you do see it with these guys. Now, they swing through the trees. They'll make an incredible call, especially early in the morning or late in the day. And as an Indonesian native, it's pretty cool to see them here thriving in our very temperate climate of Santa Barbara. One of the coolest things about the Santa Barbara Zoo is its positioning. If you look out behind this beautiful little enclosure right here, you'll see this slough. So the zoo is located between the beach and this natural wetland. So what do you get? You get tons of migratory birds, tons of wildlife actually surrounding the zoo, and then of course incredible views from almost every single angle. And while we're speaking of gibbons, check out the very fun merch stuff that we're doing. In case you haven't seen them already, make sure you go to the Forest Galante store. It's outdoor apparel. It is not cheap, crappy YouTuber merch. It's actually awesome stuff to get you outside, especially on a day like today where the weather is temperate and the sun is out and you don't want to get cooked. Make sure you grab one of these. All right, let's keep touring the zoo. So this is so cool. This is one of the newer exhibits here at the Santa Barbara Zoo, right, Ellie? And this is your open air Australian walkabout.
Walkabout, yeah. So this is a space that we have created to allow guests to come in with the animals. So we have four kangaroos in here. The animals are very comfortable with us being in here.
I can see that. Look at this guy.
Aspen right here.
Hi. What's this, bud? Look here. Look, Aspen. Want a peanut? Oh, very cool. So Aspen is a gray kangaroo, right?
Yes.
Eastern or Western?
They are a Western gray kangaroo.
Western. Now the Westerns are smaller than the Easterns,
They're gonna be a little bit smaller, and these are not the ones that a lot of people ask about, those big red kangaroos that you see boxing each other in the wild.
Yep, Aspen's super chill. Look at him. Come on, buddy.
We have Kulaba, who's thinking about coming over.
Oh, hi.
But he's also getting distracted. Kulaba's a little bit smaller. He's Aspen's brother, and he is a year younger. But also, I think Kulaba is just a smaller kangaroo.
I didn't know peanuts were a thing for kangaroos.
You know, they love them and they eat the whole thing. So if you watch him, he's not taking the shell off at all. He wants to eat the entire shell.
I think it's so cool. I mean, I don't know, but how many other AZA zoos are there where you can go and have such an intimate interaction?
Yeah.
And also, just because we live in Santa Barbara, you know, it's perfect
great
out,
weather
right?
for
You can do this 365 days a year here. I love macropods. I think macropods are so cool. They're just weird. They're just so weird. I mean, it's like Australian animals are so bizarre.
They're very interesting. That's why they're such a interesting thing for zoos to have.
This is awesome. The walkabout's awesome, and there's so many more things to see, so let's keep going.
The Santa Barbara Zoo has hundreds of animals, so I'm going to stop by the vet's office to learn a bit more about how they monitor the health of all their residents.
So like all zoos and animal facilities, you have to take exceptional care of your animals. So Julie here is doing a checkup on whom?
This is Nana, a Grand Cayman blue iguana.
Very cool.
They're from the Grand Cayman Islands, very endangered.
So let's see what you're doing for your checkup today.
We're gonna scan the microchip and just make sure that we've got the right animal, because we have a couple of these. So yes, we can confirm that this is Nana. First, we're gonna look at her eyes. They're lovely and clear. And we check these nostrils, make sure they're nice and clear. Her teeth look good.
Yep. Now she's all puffed up. That's not normal, right?
Yeah, so she's a little unhappy about being restrained for this exam, but just like we have to go to the doctor once a year, so do our animals.
Yep.
So as a response to being a bit stressed and unhappy, she's puffing her body up.
Yep, and they do that for a couple of reasons. One is to make themselves look bigger, but the other is where they live naturally, they'll hide in the rock crevices and puff up so that a predator can't pull them out, right?
Exactly, yes.
How many animals do you have here, Julie, at
So
the zoo?
we've got around 400 animals here at the zoo currently. And so that's a lot of health checks in a year.
Well, given you have 400 animals, there's only 365 days a year. That's more than one a day.
Some days there's more than one.
Well, this is so cool. I mean, it just shows you the attention to detail here to the point of literally ultrasounding the lizards. I mean, it's an amazing thing to see here at the zoo, and these guys have a lot more to do. Lauren and Julie, thank you so much for your time. Good luck with the rest of your ultrasound. I'm glad she's healthy, most importantly, and we'll keep going.
Next, I'm gonna stop by their creepy crawly room. As I've been told, there are some really unique residents inside.
I love creepy crawlies, so you can imagine how excited I was when Santa Barbara redid their creepy crawly building, now called Tropical Wonders. They have some amazing stuff in here, like these guys right here, super rare endemic Fiji banded iguanas, and then not just reptiles, but look back in that corner right there, a prehensile-tailed porcupine. So as you continue moving through, there are so many cool little things, stuff like this. Look at all these beautiful golden frogs that are hanging out down in this enclosure here. I mean, just some of the coolest animals that you can be eye to eye with. And one thing I haven't seen in any other creepy crawly building is this guy right here. This is a Provost squirrel from Indonesia. Look how beautiful. Have you ever seen a jet black backed squirrel before with bright red legs and that white banding? I mean, it's so cool to have all these things mixed together. Usually at zoos you have a reptile house or a bird area, but here they've put all these amazing tropical animals that need to be indoors into one area together that I think is amazing. Not to mention the walls are all beautifully done. There are great things that are tactile for kids like this, where they can play literally in the grass and move around and see snakes like this and feel what a snake feels like when the real thing, the Burmese python, is sitting right there. So this is awesome, but wait till you see what's through this door right here. One of the things that I find so cool about the Santa Barbara Zoo is it really aims to educate people about a lot of the amazing native species. Being in Central California, this is one of the most ecologically diverse parts of the entire country. And of some of the rare and amazing species that they have here on display, look at this guy right here. So this is a northern red-legged frog, and while it may just look like a normal frog, this guy has a crazy story. These animals are critically endangered along with the California tiger salamanders that you see back there. And of course, as they're both amphibians, they can live together. This guy has such an insane story. So the story of how this frog came to be here at the SB Zoo is amazing. Some people went to the regular Christmas tree lot, bought their Christmas tree, and the next morning they noticed there was a frog hopping around the floor that hopped up into the Christmas tree. Sure enough, no idea how, this little frog right here, a critically endangered specimen, had somehow been hanging out in a Christmas tree lot, and they called the SB Zoo, and the Santa Barbara Zoo assumed it was sort of nothing, brought it in. Turns out it's this very, very rare frog that now gets to live its life in this beautiful terrarium as part of the education. And as we move over here, our native danger right here, our Southern Pacific rattlesnake, an amazing animal that almost every hiker that hangs out in this part of the world will bump into at some point or another. And as you move around a room like this, it teaches you about all of the native species, the rare, the common, and everything in between, so that you can understand some of the amazing biological diversity that we have right here in Santa Barbara County in Central California. And there are little rooms like this all over the SB Zoo that let you learn about these animals.
Now, I'm going to meet one of the newest and most beloved residents at the zoo.
All right, Ellie, so you're the bird lover. Who do we have here?
So this is Java. He is our rhinoceros hornbill, one of the largest species of hornbills.
Yep.
And we're very happy to have him here at the Santa Barbara Zoo. He's a very animated, very beloved bird in his short time that he has been here. And very interactive with his keepers, and often confused for toucans, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
A lot of people think that they are toucans.
That's funny.
It's probably that casque that sits on top of his head kind of gives it the illusion. And even though he's called a hornbill, it's not really a horn. Right there, he's just letting us know that this is his territory.
Oh, yeah.
So a little bit of perch shaking is usually a way that he likes to exhibit that behavior.
I love hornbills. They're so intelligent. You know, they do their crazy mud nesting, which I always think is so fascinating. And of course, they're so unique looking.
They are so unique looking.
Yeah, I don't know if any are more unique than a rhino hornbill.
Right.
You know, like they're the biggest, most profound. You know, ground hornbills are really weird too, but I think of the hornbills, the rhino hornbills are probably the coolest.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you look at those beautiful eyes, that red color is what lets you know that he's a male. So if it were female, the eyes would actually be white. And so that's the only difference that you can see between a male and a female rhinoceros hornbill.
So cool.
So that casque on top of his head has a couple jobs. One, it amplifies his call. So he does live in really dense rainforest. So he wants to make sure that his family members can all hear him when he's looking for them.
Sure.
But also it's an indicator of how healthy he is. So if he's looking looking for a mate, we want that casque to be a very mango-y, orangey color.
Yep.
And that is what a female is going to look for when she's trying to choose her best mate.
Classic sexual selection.
Yes.
The guy with the biggest horn gets the prettiest girl, basically,
Yep, that's
right?
pretty much how it's gonna work out. His casque is still growing.
All right, well, Java is awesome. Ellie, you are awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you've ever traveling through Santa Barbara, make sure the SB Zoo is a must-do stop for you. You will love it. Your kids will love it. The animals love it here. The weather is perfect. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.